So, hey, Tom, we're up here at the mine. Craig's rearranged everything on the jaw, so everything's straight now. We're having an issue with...
It's just a spring issue.
Yeah, it's a spring issue. It's almost like the spring is a little too weak. I think it's probably going to work, but basically what it does is when it revolves, you can't hear it now. Well, you can hear it now, but this is what it's doing with the spring, is it's basically thumping.
It's not pulling the... It's not keeping the lower end of the jaw plate against this big drive bearing shaft down here.
Yeah.
If you can see down in there. See that down in there? It's keeping that away there, and then when it comes down, it goes kung and hits that because the spring's not strong enough to pull it, keep it against that at all times.
Yeah, so it's probably not an issue that's probably going to cause any immediate problem, but I think eventually it's probably going to cause the spring to fail eventually.
So what I need a shorter spring, but way fucking heavier duty.
So I think probably the best bet.
Bigger around coil.
I think probably the best bet is for Craig to just pick one, send you the link,
yep.
order one. I think it's going to work for a while. I think it's just eventually going to fail and make a lot of fucking noise.
I'm going to try and hook it here and then pull it back and hook it directly into here without the
tightening bolt.
Without the tightening bolt here, which is going to be really fucking interesting to do here without me fucking busting a knuckle.
You almost got it. You got to do it with that lip. Just kind of needs to go up. The problem is your hook.
Oh.
The problem is your pliers are in the way.
Okay, get on there better. There, easy. Okay.
Oh, almost. Almost. You just need to go hair up. Oh, you're there. Okay. It's not as bad.
A lot quieter. Much quieter.
That's better. That's better.
Way better.
I still think we probably need to replace that spring and go back to the tensioner and all that, but because I think eventually it may fail or pop off or be all tweaked.
It's a okay spring, but the diameter of the coils is, it's wimpy. If we could get a bigger diameter coil spring and, like Kirby says, probably the same length or maybe a little shorter, and then I can use the tensioner in there, and that'll probably do it, but I like that a lot better.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's smoother. It's not thumping.
Yeah, it's not thumping. And I got this all straightened. This I got to go around and make sure all the nuts and bolts are tight and Loctite everything, because none of this stuff is Loctited. But now all these set
straight.
I got all them set. Allen's Loctited now, so we don't have a catastrophic failure.
So it doesn't go up and smoke sideways.
Yeah. It's like the other night I was watching a thing about fire, the history of fire and man, and they got to the part where man discovered how we can make fire and put water in a big tank and boil and make steam. Well, before we put pressure relief valves on top of them boilers, they said there were so many catastrophic and man went, that's a big bomb, they say.
Yeah.
A very powerful bomb.
Yeah, it's pretty much a whole bunch of flying shrapnel.
Not only that, all the vapor, the superheated steam vapor would just, anybody in the room, you'd be scalded.
Yeah.
Your skin would just fall off your bones.
Yep.
Be like dipping a chicken in hot water.
Yep. Well, we're being in a fucking pressure cooker.
Yeah. Dipping a chicken. Okay, let me make sure.
So we got wasp traps and bait because the hornets are bad.
Oh, it's bad out here. We both have been stung and attacked. Okay, let's get all these tightened up here.
So they got their bathtub hooked up here, it looks like.
Yeah, I got to cut the hole in the bathtub. I got it all marked out with the cutoff wheel on the grinder, but that's basically how it's going to be for right now. We're still thinking of putting something on the back landing, even up higher, that goes into the bathtub.
Well, I would just use that plywood and
right now
make a little ramp.
We can make a ramp to where it just, we just dump it on there and then shove it into there.
So it's not a very big hopper, but it probably I bet that probably hold a quarter ton.
Yeah.
So almost last parts are here, I think. I mean, obviously you'll need to order one of these springs. Craig will pick one out. It's more or less just so we have one in case there is a failure.
Yeah, probably best to have one extra, maybe two extra. We'll just get. I'm sure they're not no.
They're probably a couple bucks.
Yeah, ain't no $580 million spring. I'm not gonna order a titanium carbide spring, you know.
So I got the other table here. So I got your table here. It's definitely your table.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, man. When I uncovered that first, I was like, that's not Tom's table.
So it looks like you've got the helix set up.
Yeah, it's pretty much done. I got the motor bolted down.
So it looks like you got the spray bar installed on it.
It's in.
So it's...
Yeah. That's the feed bar is in now. The special fitting is made. And it's attached. And I got the concentrate feed line already laying down there to set onto Tom's RP. We're taking your impact mill back because I uncovered it, and the bars are pretty much
they're pretty eaten.
Yeah, but mine, I opened mine yesterday and they're brand new, and mine's bigger.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh, so you got the bigger model.
Yeah, I think mine's bigger.
Yeah, so plug that into there. The other RP4, we have sandbags.
Derek's gonna
I'm a little concerned about that three-way base that they all have on them and just sandbagging them because they don't seem very fucking stable.
We have an idea. Derek has a 1/2-inch drill and I got some lags, and drill into the bricks and put a lag into each one, and hopefully that'll make it a little more stable. And then with the sandbags on it, hopefully that's...
Yeah, because I haven't had, when I transported, I put the stand separated from the top, and I put the stand in the front of the bed of the truck.
But before this,
and by the time I even got 5 feet down Anthony's driveway, the fucking thing fell over. So they're not very stable because with the three-leg system.
Before this winter's up and it snows, I will make a form and make it not a permanent pad, but I'll make a form thing, and we'll pour the pad for Tom's RP4 and let it sit up for a month or two there, you know, and then it'll have the lags, everything in it, and then I will build a base like on our RP4, the very base bit that's bolted to the cement pad. I'll build a base like that his will bolt to like that, and then all we gotta do when we go out of here is undo the RP4 base off the cement base, leave the cement base part, you know, on the cement pad,
right,
and then we just take the tables back during the winter.
Right. And the pads are portable, so the Forest Service can't complain.
Yeah, there's nothing in here that's permanent. Everything in here can be easily taken out of here.
Yep. Or sort of easily.
Yeah, I mean, but like you're saying, nothing's permanent. We didn't dig down and put caissons into the ground and stuff that's, you know, like a stamp mill battery foundation.
Right.
Okay, let's get this one tightened here.
So that's pretty much the situation here, kind of the last touches, but we probably will need one of these springs just to be safe in case of a failure. I doubt it'll fail anytime soon, but you never know.
It's brand new, so... But I got some pretty good stretch on it now, since I took out that... Oh, you sucker. Yeah, that was another reason why it slipped.
Just not tight.
Hardly any of these were tight. I don't know how old Ken is.
Old.
Well, that's probably why.
His health is getting poor.
He probably couldn't torque on these to get them tight.
Well, you'd think he would maybe use a torque wrench if that's the case.
They were
pretty loose.
Very loose. You know, I could just go whoomp, you know, right. I didn't have to go to break them. It's just like, oh shit, you know, they were loose enough that when this thing was running, the torque could have slowly, you know, moved it, because it says on the little hour meter here, it's either 1.3 or 13 hours.
It's 1.3.
So they definitely ran this thing.
Well, I know Anthony ran it for a few minutes, and probably Ken ran it off and on just to test it.
Test it, make sure it's, you know, definitely kosher.
And I think this was the slightly used engine, obviously not used much, but maybe that's what it was. Maybe Armadillo just figured, maybe Sam just figured, okay, it's got an hour on it, so it's used.
This one's got a gear reduction transmission on it. The Certifying one didn't have that.
No, this is a later one.
Okay.
Doesn't have the same engine either.
No, I think the
one on the other one is
8 or a 9.
Well, it's a Briggs also.
Oh, okay.
Or maybe a Predator, actually.
Oh. Yeah. There we go.
Maybe I have to start watching Marketplace and Craigslist for used horizontal shaft Hondas, just so we start building a little stockpile up.
Yeah.
Because I'm sure if I'm watchful, I'm sure they'll come up and probably quite cheap.
Yeah.
You know, even if they're just for parts.
Yeah.
Is Derek still playing in the water?
He's working on the upper pond. He almost has it done.
Yeah, it looked like there was more water in the lower one when I came in.
Oh, God.
It's like it's gradually filling up pretty good.
Pretty much full all the way to the... it's coming about good out of his pipe now.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. So he's got it up to that level now. Okay. There we go.
So, pretty close. Finish this. Second table. The other impact mill in to go off the back of the Helix. It might be ready Friday, maybe.
We're hoping we'll be ready to run ore this weekend.
Yeah.
Run the first ore through.
And there's ore up here on the flat above where we were milling before. And I think it'd be wise to rerun some of those tails.
Yeah.
I mean, they'll be easy. Because I think there's probably a lot of fucking gold and sulfides in them personally.
Yeah.
In fact, I wouldn't be surprised if half the gold we had is still in the tails.
A very renowned miner, hard rock miner that I have on it as a Facebook friend. Some guys were asking him some technical questions, and he says, leave your tails, or he said, don't leave them on the ground. You better to collect them, but you can leave them on the ground. He said, just leave them for a couple years. Sulfides will oxidize out, and then rerun them, and you'll get a bunch of gold out of it.
Yeah, and that'd be the wise thing to do.
Yep.
That's one of the reasons I really want sugar pine bad, is that whole valley's just full of them.
Oh, man. Yeah.
Thousands of tons worth.
Yeah.
And I know there's a lot of gold in them. I know just the assays on them were about 0.3 per ton, just on a grab.
Oh, wow, yeah.
And obviously it's already milled, just pretty much needs to go through an impactor and be done once more.
Yep, we definitely want sugar pine somehow, some way. I don't know how we'll get it with Danny wanting so much for it.
Well, the problem is Danny theoretically paid a lot for it, but that doesn't mean anything. Situations change. We'll just keep focusing on it. Just got to do that gypsy shit and believe that it's just gonna fucking happen.
Yeah.
So we're about 15 minutes into the video, so it's mostly just Craig tightening shit, but that's fine. But I think that is it for today. One more step closer. They definitely need to get these wasp traps up. They're buzzing around here. And we got the other demolition hammer up here, and it's a fucking heavy motherfucker. I had it in the other front seat, and it was every corner I went around, it was swinging over and about knocking me out the fucking door. It's pretty heavy duty.
It is. The one that, the same one that I have, the used one is, that's why I said we're getting that one.
Yeah.
It's as big, it's the same weight as the Bauer I used, but in the reviews on Harbor Freight, they have the one, I forget what it is, and then there's the Bauer, and then there's the Hercules stuff. And the Hercules stuff is their top of the line.
Yeah, the only thing was on it, I didn't get the extended service plan on it, because the fucking extended service plan was half the price of the fucking thing.
Yeah, well,
they wanted like $140 for the fucking, or $199 for a 2-year service plan.
Wow.
You know, so when they asked me, oh, do you want the service plan? I said, no, you're fucking insane.
Yeah.
You know, it'd be one thing if it was $50, but I mean, $200 for a fucking service plan.
We're going to be killing that thing anyway, so.
Is that Derek?
Yeah. There we go.
Okay. So that's it.
That's it.
Okay.
Straightened.
So that is the.
Oh yeah, the belt looks so much better.
Yeah.
and that looks so much better now.
You want to start it, see what it does? Make sure it doesn't come apart.
I don't have any petrol in it. Maybe I do, and I don't know how good the petrol is. Ooh, let's see if it starts. It smells pretty.
You got any more? Or you just got 2 cycle around for the saw?
2-stroke. I dumped all the gas into the generator. Filled it. I know it's got oil. Okay.
Stand back so Craig doesn't knock me out here.
There. Fuel on. Troop. Oh. On. I think.
All right. All good. Not making any fucking noise.
Nice and quiet.
Yeah. That spring looks all right. Just right. So hey, it works.
Bitch and Bob.
Imagine that. So that's it. We will see you next time. Should be running a couple days.
Yes.
Not far to go. Go ahead.
This is all done. All sealed now. Got all the little holes sealed. We put this on and bolted on. The holes all welded up. And this is all set and level. got our Dugas hicker down here all. The special thing I had to weld up and make at the shop, so it holds this pipe in here nice and sturdy, and that pipe's going all the way down to about right there and dumps in on the side, on this side, because it rotates this way.
Right.
And you want it to dump on the uphill side of the rotation. That's in. Oh, before you go, I will have to give you this. This fitting. I had the freaking acorn nut and all this on here, and when we brought it here, I didn't have this on here, and the acorn nut slid off of that.
And
who knows where that
went somewhere.
Yeah, went somewhere. So I gotta have you get me a
Okay.
half-inch pipe, and I'll give you this so you can get the right acorn. I got one, but ain't the right one. And that's it. Once I get that acorn nut, put that on, hose clean, all that, and it's hooked the water up. I got this is all done, all bolted down, belt's nice and tight. It's just get it done and adjust it. I do have to make a little ring thing here for a drip edge, but that's nothing no hard. I got the material. This is all hooked up, ready to put on Tom's RP4. And then on this end, I've already figured it out, but I'm going to bring mine up because it's bigger, but we're going to put the impact mill right here, dump straight in the impact mill, and then right down to the UHF. And next year, if I get it done this winter, the UHF will get moved down another step, and the
Nefco.
rougher,
The big table.
not the Tom's big table goes there, but the one we're building, the other 2x4.
Okay.
Yeah, with the other UHF deck, but a shake motion.
Right.
I call that the rougher concentrator table.
The Craig Special.
Yeah, Craig Special table.
So I think that's it. Derek's up here.
Yep.
What have you been up to?
I dug out that pipe up there on that upper dam. Got it all dug out all the way down to hardback. I found the original lining that they had on the pipe.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Like old lining.
Yeah.
Cool.
But it'll make it easy to tie in. Just cover right up right there, and should seal everything up. So I'm ready to lay the plastic and throw rocks on it and
Be done with it. Yeah. So I think that is it from the mine. I'll have to get that part. Try to find one. Hopefully, maybe around the corner or Home Depot or somewhere.
Home Depot should have that in their, where all the brass fittings are
Right.
and all that stuff. Yeah.
I may even hit Illinois building supply on the way out.
They might have that too. You never know.
Or I can just hit the one down the corner from me.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
Because I've got the same one right around the corner. I'll just hit them on the way home.
It's a bigger one than the one
Yeah.
down in
Because that is where I got the fittings on the way in, as I just picked more fittings up there. So, but I was going to get some 2-inch, and they didn't have any. But I think 1.5 is what we need.
Yeah.
What is the outlet on that one?
That's 2-inch, but I can always go, it's going to go 2-inch into the top of the impact mill, and I think coming out of the impact mill is like yours is 1.5 inches.
Okay, so do we need maybe 2-inch?
I'll measure yours and make sure it's either.
I think it's 1.5.
Okay,
But we probably do need 2-inch female and males.
Yeah, I was just gonna go right in from here and drop straight into the whatever size that is, and Derek brought some, and they're in the back of the. They're those rubber clamps.
Okay.
That go from big to a different size.
Well, that may be more the way to go.
Yeah. And I'll just slide one of them on there and hook it right to the impact mill, and then on my I will measure, and if it's 1.5 inches, I got plenty of 1.5 inches here.
Well, like I said, I just brought those inch and a half couplers.
I mean, Derek, I forgot. Derek had two peat full.
2 inch to 1.5 inches and a 2 inch to 2 inch.
Yeah. So I mean, if I went like that, I got enough 1.5 inches.
Okay.
Yeah, to do that. And I got an 1.5 inch coupler right there.
Yeah, like I said, I've got a couple up there that are male, female, but I'll see if I can hunt some 2 inch ones. I was going to get some 2s, but they didn't have any.
Fittings.
Yeah, I was going to get some 2 inch couplers, male, females, but they didn't have any.
Oh, okay.
That's the only reason I didn't bring any. So, because that was kind of the one question I had when I was getting them, was I wasn't sure what the inlet outlets on this was. I knew the inlet on my impact mill, I think, is 1.5.
See, there's an 1.5 inches. That's a 2 inch to 1.5 inches.
Right.
There, reducer. So.
And I think definitely over the winter, I'll just make it a point to just start buying all kinds of fittings and shit and just have a whole fucking tote full of them.
Yeah, it's good to have fittings for, like, if you never know.
Buy a case here and there.
Sugar pine, then all this is going to get moved there, and we'll have to reconfigure everything.
Yep, exactly. Yeah, because sugar pine, we won't have quite this slope.
No.
Or at least not.
But it's like
well,
that.
we could if we went up above the cabin.
Yeah.
Off the Blackjack 3 road.
That's what we were talking about. Don't take it all the way up to Blackjack and have the ore hopper up there, and then all the way down that fucking
or you bring it down where the mill is right now,
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
and then have pipes go over the roadway and have all the tables on one side and the crushing stuff on the other side.
Yeah.
You can do that.
Doesn't matter. I mean, if we're not working Blackjack, I mean, you don't need that fucking road doesn't need to be open.
Okay.
So I think that's it.
We're really close.
I'll maybe have Craig pan that stuff out of the mill, show some gold.